Hey everyone, Kyle Walker here. If you love cars, fixing things, or just want to understand your vehicle better, you're in the right place. I share hands-on tips, smart driving advice, and straight-up car talk without the fluff. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stick around till the end. You don't want to miss what's coming up. Let's get into it.
The level of automation in modern automobiles is astounding. Many functions that previously had to be done manually by the driver are now performed by automation and electronics. All these tasks are entrusted to the computer, which is responsible for the braking system, fuel injection, airbags, and much more. Developers of electronic assistance have not neglected even ordinary wipers. Special rain sensors were created so that the driver would not be distracted by switching on/off the wipers and choosing the appropriate mode of operation. They allow wipers to automatically turn on and work at the right speed when it is raining or snowing outside the window. An extremely convenient device that has become widespread. Why install it? Not everyone is reliably aware of the rain sensor in a car and what it is. It differs from many other sensors that are included in the design of modern cars. Here we are not just talking about an electronic device equipped with a sensitive membrane. In addition, there is an optical component. It allows the sensor to react if there is moisture on the car glass. The sensor is required to transmit information to the electronic control unit. That, in turn, automatically controls the windshield wipers. Given the fact that the sensor needs to read information about the current humidity in the atmosphere, the optimal place for its placement was the windshield. Not all drivers understand why they should trust automatics. If at the sight of raindrops a motorist can easily turn on the windshield, wiper and close all windows to prevent water from getting inside the car. Engineers claim that such a measure is aimed not just at improving comfort, but at increasing the level of safety when driving a vehicle. Automation prevents the driver from being distracted by various buttons, switches, and window lifters. Modern rain sensors can react quickly to changes in the weather. Many systems not only activate the windshield wipers, but also automatically close windows and sunroofs. Meanwhile, the driver himself looks at the road, as he knows that the electronics will perform all the necessary actions without his participation. Such sensors on cars have appeared quite recently. Therefore, not everyone knows what a rain sensor looks like. This is an extremely compact device that is easily placed in the area of the windshield. Usually, it is installed near the roof in the center of the windshield. For the first time, rain sensors began to be used on expensive and representative models. Even then, the devices were transferred to more budget vehicles. Now such an electronic assistant can be found on almost any car. There is even an opportunity to install a sensor, if from the factory it was not provided on the car. How it works. It will not be superfluous to familiarize yourself with the principle of operation of the rain sensor. Its design includes two main elements: emitter, photodetector. In order for the sensor to be able to correctly read the current weather conditions outside, the transmitter and the photodetector have certain moisture and dryness characteristics. If the windshield is exposed to large amounts of droplets or dirt on the surface, the sensor perceives this as a change in the refraction path of the sun's rays. Due to the increase in humidity and the appearance of drops on the glass, a certain reaction occurs in the system, which is responsible for the operation of the rain sensor. As a result, the electronic control unit generates a signal that activates the windshield wipers. The automation is able to independently regulate the speed of the wiper blades. When there is a heavy downpour, the system makes the wipers work faster and without interruption. If it is a light rain, the wipers operate periodically, washing away accumulated water from the glass. Modern rain sensors are characterized by increased sensitivity. Therefore, you can often see that when just a few drops hit the windshield wipers immediately and automatically start working. And the inclusion occurs very quickly. So even the driver is not able to react and turn on the windshield wipers manually. This is an approximate scheme of how the rain sensor works on a car. There is nothing complicated here, but the effect of such a sensor is very impressive. Many people specifically purchase cars with the obligatory condition of the presence of such a sensor on it. It is important to understand not only the principle of operation of the rain sensor installed on the car, but also the requirements for its installation. There are two key points here. Sensors should always be placed so that they do not block the visibility of the driver. Otherwise, the device, whose task is to increase the level of safety, turns into a real threat. The driver will have to constantly look out from behind the sensor, which will definitely not have a positive impact on his comfort and the safety of all road users. Sensors must be installed in the area of the windshield where the windshield wipers operate. In other words, the sensor must monitor the condition of the area covered by the wipers. After all, the wipers are not able to clean the entire surface of an almost rectangular windshield. Read also, what are airless tires, where they are used, and what advantages they have since in most cases rain sensors are installed. At the car manufacturer's factory, there are no problems with the correct placement of the device. Difficulties may arise if the motorist decides to put the sensor on the car by his own efforts. Recommendations for self-installation. The absence of a rain sensor on the car is not a disaster. But the presence of such a device in the car really increases the level of comfort and allows you not to be distracted by various trifles when driving. In this regard, many car owners who do not have a sensor on the car from the factory decide to install the sensor themselves. Before buying a device, it is important to take into account that the package includes a relay and a control unit. Directly from the control unit directly depends on whether the wiper is able to turn on automatically at the necessary moment. This component is responsible for reading information from the windshield. When the control unit receives the data, it sends a command to the actuators that activate the wipers. It is unlikely that you can install a rain sensor on the first windshield you come across. It is important to take into account its condition and the fact that there is no mechanical damage. If the windshield has deformations in the form of cracks, even if small, the sensor may not work correctly. This is explained by the fact that the sensor may perceive the cracks as a contamination formed on the glass, which must be removed. As a result, in any weather, the automatics will start to constantly turn on the wiper blades. Do not forget the importance of the wiper blades themselves. The driver needs to make sure that the wipers are always in good working condition, and their degree of wear does not exceed the permissible norms. When the wiper blades are new, they only need a few movements to completely get rid of dirt or water on the windshield. Worn wipers will take much longer to move back and forth until the sensor deems the glass clean enough. This will cause even more rapid wear, as the wipers will have to work for longer periods of time whenever the electronic unit commands the wipers to turn on. The relay unit, which is included with the rain sensor, is positioned as an actuator. It is the relay that controls the wipers and washer of your car. But the relay's functions don't end there. It will also prevent the sensor from burning out if there is a sudden power surge in the car's power grid. The relay is installed in any convenient place, which the driver considers acceptable for the placement of this element. Although most often the relay is mounted so that the connection of the unit to the battery was as convenient as possible. Here, already think for yourself if you decide to put a special rain sensor on the windshield. Advantages and disadvantages. When the sensor is positioned correctly on the windshield, all wiper blades are in good working order, and the electronic control unit itself is in good condition. There are usually no problems with the operation of the sensor. Therefore, in general, this device is perceived on the positive side. But there is always a skeptic who will find a lot of minuses and call the rain sensor a useless or unnecessary device in the car. Yes, when the device is located right in front of the driver's eyes, which covers his visibility, or the brushes are in a worn-out state, nothing useful the device really will not give. Therefore, making conclusions, you need to rely on where the rain sensor is located. And here it is important to understand who is actually right and who should change his opinion about the rain sensor. When everything is done and installed correctly, the driver gets a lot of benefits from using a rain sensor. These include automatic triggering, protection against even a few drops on the glass, fast operation, automatic control of the intensity of the brushes, high sensitivity, permanently clean glass, no need to press buttons and levers. For most drivers, these arguments will be enough. But it is necessary to be objective to the end. Rain sensors do have certain disadvantages. They can manifest themselves in the following ways. The wipers can actuate arbitrarily when not required. The rotation of the brushes can distract the driver from the road. Many sensors are too sensitive. The device may even trigger when there are air bubbles on. The windshield or fingerprints. You have to wash the glass thoroughly to get rid of false triggers. Not all sensors allow you to adjust the sensitivity level. Read also, choosing a cleaner for your car air conditioner, but it's not all bad. If a good sensor is installed on your car, which belongs to proven and well-established manufacturers, there should be no problems with operation and adjustment. Sometimes it is enough to slightly change the settings so that the sensor does not trigger the slightest change in humidity. It is not so difficult to do this, although it is better to ask for help from qualified specialists. Common myths. Also in the society of motorists, several myths have formed, in which many people continue to persistently believe. They somewhat spoil the reputation of rain sensors. Therefore, it is better to correct this injustice. The sensor does not work in the dark. A very common misconception that has nothing to do with reality. Information about the presence of dirt is received by the electronic unit due to the work of infrared rays. Therefore, it does not matter what kind of lighting is outside. Even in total darkness, if you pour water on the windshield, the automation will start the windshield wipers. It is not difficult to check this at home. Sensors cannot function if the glass is tinted. Another popular myth that should be dispelled, although there is some truth to it. In order for the rain sensor to work normally on a tinted glass, you need to make a small hole in the tinting for the sensor. Outwardly, you will not notice it at all, but the tinting will not interfere with the work of the sensor. In winter, the sensor should be switched off. This statement is not true. Yes, in winter the sensor's work is somewhat changed for the worse, because it is designed to fight with raindrops, not with snow. But if the car is additionally equipped with a windshield heater, then even in conditions of heavy snowfall the sensor will work no less effectively than in heavy rain. When replacing the windshield, you need to buy a new sensor, connect it to the wipers. Not entirely true. If the glass needs to be replaced, but the sensor itself is intact, it can be installed on the new glass. It is only important that on the new glass, there is a special window provided for mounting the sensor. If the opposite happens, i.e., the sensor breaks while the windshield is intact, the windshield will not need to be replaced. The sensor breaks all the time and needs to be replaced regularly. This is a myth, although there is some truth to it. If the sensor is constantly exposed to dirt, it will not be able to function properly. But here the problem is not in the breakage of the sensor itself, but in the fact that the driver forgets to take care of the windshield. If you remove all the dirt and get rid of condensation, which over a long period of operation can accumulate on the surface of the sensor, then it will continue to perform the functions assigned to it. From this, we can conclude that with proper installation and in conditions of competent care, the rain sensor gives a number of objective advantages. It increases the level of safety when driving a vehicle, removes from the driver the obligation to turn on and off the windshield wipers. This means that the driver is not distracted from the road. It is recommended to choose cars with modern multifunctional sensors. Such devices are responsible not only for the timely switching on and off of the wiper blades, but can also automatically close the sunroof and windows on the car doors. When a heavy downpour suddenly falls during the trip, the driver has to be distracted, press different buttons so that the water stops penetrating into the cabin. Automation works quickly and efficiently. You just need to wait a little while the electric drivers receive a command from the electronic control unit and close all the windows. This takes much less time than closing the windows and sunroof manually. Whether to use the rain sensor or not, each motorist decides for himself. If you are not satisfied with too high sensitivity of this sensor, in most cases it can be adjusted. This will allow you to fully enjoy the automatic operation of windshield wipers. Concentrate all your attention on the road and do not get distracted by the adjustment of the wiper blades. In conclusion, a rain sensor is an invaluable addition to any irrigation system, ensuring that your plants receive the right amount of water while conserving resources. By detecting moisture levels and automatically adjusting watering schedules, these devices not only promote healthier gardens but also save you time and money. Investing in a rain sensor is a smart choice for anyone looking to enhance their gardening efficiency and contribute to sustainable water usage. Make the switch today and experience the benefits for yourself. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content.